following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Hey everybody, all right, Thursday getting closer and closer to Sunday, and the Cowboys going up to Minneapolis, Minnesota to take on the Vikings. I'm Newy Scruggs, longtime Cowboys reporter, joined by former Dallas Cowboys players Danny McCray and Barry Church. And McCray, I got to thank you, because I thought yesterday you opening up about how a player gets called in to take a salary cut, what it's like to make the decision, and then going forward and having to play, then leaving the Cowboys and then coming back and now ultimately working for the club. I thought that was just a really good story, because I didn't know it, and I'm sure those listening and checking us out right here on the Players Lounge didn't know it either, man. I thought it was really good stuff.
It's a business, man. It's a business, and as the fans watch these guys go through contract negotiations, and you hear about players taking pay cuts. I mean, I think it's important for them to understand what all goes into it, because a lot of the times the fans just, they don't realize that you're a human being and you go through some of the same stuff they may go through on their job as well. So, I mean, we're all human. I grew up and matured a little bit. I got over it, and now I'm back.
So, Barry, for you, and this is something that made me think about it. So you come up, you're up for a deal with the Cowboys, and they basically don't want to pay you, and you go to Jacksonville and get paid. What was your feeling toward the Cowboy organization when you left?
Oh, I mean, you definitely resent them a little bit. I mean, nobody can sit here and tell me, when they're a free agent, they always want to go back to that club, especially when I was there for so long. I think I was there for like 7 years. So, of course, I had a little bit of resentment. I figured, hey, they would, I would at least get something done, especially towards the latter part of free agency. But it never really materialized. The money man who we were speaking about yesterday, I think his name is Adam. I only saw him maybe like 2 or 3 times, and it was always a quick exchange, like, yeah, man, we're gonna get this done, and it just never kind of materialized. So towards the end of the season, I kind of figured, like, hey, man, I'm about to get out of here, get paid somewhere else. It's been real. So even on the coaching exit meetings, what I'm saying, I didn't even go see my DB coach. I just left that. Saul Marinelli said, hey, gave my piece to him. Coach Garrett was real quick. He kind of knew too. He kind of knew the situation, because he was like, yeah, I know you're coming up on free agency and everything. And I just kind of shook my head like, yep, I'm about to get paid too. And so it was a quick in and out for me. But, of course, I had a little bit of resentment. All
right. And now you're back here and you're doing things with the
Yeah, now I'm back. Never burn bridges. That's a big thing. Never burn bridges.
You guys say it's a business, and everybody says it's a business, but the other portion of it that people don't understand, especially when you don't walk in these shoes, is how personal you take it, because there's nothing like sports where everybody tells you, hey, we're a family. Let's stick together. You sacrifice for the Cowboys, sacrifice for your teammate, and then when it comes down to dollars and cents, all that is thrown out the window. So you live this mantra, the team, and then when you want the team to play for you or the team to take up for you, that part of it becomes very personal, and that portion of it, I think fans don't really understand, because you don't live that life. You go to work, and at your job, you go to work for you. Here's a job where you're working with others and for others. So it's definitely a different type of atmosphere, and a different. These negotiations are very personal at the end. You can say business all day long, but it's doggone personal.
Yeah, and I think the coaches, they do a good job of kind of letting you know from the jump. Like if you're coming up as a free agent, they kind of let you know that season, like, hey, man, we're separate from all that. Like that's above our pay grade. But in the back of your head, like, no, you're putting input. Coaches, you're putting input. They're asking you about players, but they kind of do a good job to kind of separate themselves from upper management. But at the end of the day, like you said, it does get kind of personal, and just don't burn any bridges is what I recommend.
All right, Players Lounge brought to you by Hotels.com. We are in our SWBC Mortgage Virtual Home Studios. Vikings coming up here. So I went and dived and looked into just a little bit of how the Minnesota Vikings have gotten themselves back in the playoff picture. And remember, there's an extra playoff spot this year. They've won 3 straight games. And when I looked at, okay, what's the big difference in these guys winning these 3 straight games over the Bears, Lions, and Packers? Well, to me, it's real simple. Against Chicago, they ran the ball 33 times. They passed 36 times. Against Detroit, they ran the ball 30 times. They passed it 20 times. And against the Packers in a win, they ran the ball 34 times and passed it 14 times. So in the last 3 games, 101 attempts rushing the ball, 70 attempts passing it. It's real simple. They're trying to run this thing and limit their quarterback, Kirk Cousins. The Cowboys are going to have to stop the run on Sunday, McCray.
Absolutely. And it starts with that because we know Dalvin Cook is the man, and he's going to come out, and he's been rolling, and it looks like he's trying to break records coming out of here. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Before we played the Eagles and the Steelers, the Cowboys defense was the get right defense. If you want to try to go for 200, then you come in here and you play the Cowboys. But they tightened up over the last couple of weeks. Although Pittsburgh really doesn't have a stout running game, and neither does Philly. So this will be a true test for us to see if we are really turning that corner and getting better. But yeah, we don't stop Dalvin Cook. This is going to be a long game for our defensive front, D-line, and Jalen and LVE.
Yeah, the formula the Minnesota Vikings are going with right now is something I thought the Cowboys would go to once Dak Prescott went down, which is a heavy dose of Zeke and limiting the quarterback, his production or his effectiveness on the game. But we haven't gotten that, that 2016 Zeke out on the field yet this year. So we kind of resorted to throwing the ball more than we'd like to, and we saw, what's happening with that. We've lost a lot of games, and Minnesota has turned it around. But you're definitely right, Danny, as far as this game is concerned. The catalyst, the guy that we're going to have to slow down, the guy we're going to have to stop is Dalvin Cook. I mean, he's a man back there. He's a grown man back there. And we've seen what he's been able to do against, the Packers with those 4 touchdowns. And even against a Chicago team that I think has one of the better defenses in the league, he was able to run through them. So for me, it's going to be extremely tough. Our D-line is going to have to show up, especially those 2 guys in the middle, because we can't let them just run straight downhill at our linebackers, or it's going to be an extremely long day. So for me, Neville Gallimore, Tyron Crawford, those boys are going to have to step up. But overall, we're just going to have to tackle better as well. I mean, we can't let this guy, after contact get 5 and 6 yards after that, because, those yards pile up. And the next thing you know, he has 3 scores. So we're going to have to tackle well and play great defense in the middle.
I see what you're doing there too, man. I see what you're doing. See, now you put Neville Gallimore name in front of Crawford. You build him up to be the star that you mentioned. The star that you mentioned a couple of days ago. That's how they usually do it in the media, man. If you ever pay attention to college football, they start listing the players, and they always mention the players that they want to be up for the awards and the Heisman. And that's what you're doing right now for Neville Gallimore, man. I feel you. Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. Him and Gilbert, those are your 2 guys.
I'm thinking Neville Gallimore, I think he deserves it. I mean, he's been playing well these past 2 weeks, and for the majority part of this season, Tyron Crawford has not shown up. So, I got to do what I got to do.
So Church, is Antoine Woods off your list now?
Antoine Woods is not off my list. He just wasn't mentioned in my my top 2 defensive tackles there. But he's been playing well as of late. So hopefully he can contribute to this stopping Dalvin Cook, because we're going to need all hands on deck. I mean, safeties, everything. And right now, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough one for us.
You do realize that the Pittsburgh Steelers really don't have a running game, and neither does Philly for the most part. The 2 teams that we stopped and turned the corner on. You do realize that, right?
I do, but I think what we have in the middle right now, we got those guys out of the middle that we're slowing our stars down. You know what I'm saying? We got rid of Poe, we got rid of Everson Griffin, we got rid of those guys. We've been stepping it up. And to be all honest with you guys, I'm picking the Cowboys this weekend. I mean, I think we got a chance. The
man says they've been slowing our stars down. Okay, our stars. Okay, man, I'm listening, man. I'm just writing all this down. I'm writing it all down.
I'm just letting y'all know. It was all crazy until, it comes true. All right, so, I'm just being the first person to go out there and let everybody know what's happening.
All right, Church. So let me give you a couple more stats before you make your actual pick, okay? Because Minnesota is number 5 in the NFL in rushing at 153.6 a game. They're number 9 in attempts, 268 yards. When it comes to rushing touchdowns, they're number 5 in the NFL with 13. Dalvin Cook's got 12 of those. He's number 1 in the league in rushing, 954 yards, averaging 5.5 totes a rock. The Cowboys defense is 31st against the run. They give up 167.4 a game. All right, that's more than what Minnesota runs for. Minnesota is a team that wants to run the ball. And if you remember the Cleveland game, they came in here with Kevin Stefanski. Where did Kevin Stefanski come from? Where was the offensive coordinator at last year? Minnesota. They're going to come up here and do what Cleveland did. And do you remember what Cleveland ran for? 307. 307 yards. So, and Barry is right. I have James Conner in my fantasy league. And that's one of the best ways at times to understand how teams go, because you watch a lot of their games. Pittsburgh's not interested in running it. They're just not. So you're talking about a team who's going to come in here and run it just like Cleveland with the better running back in Dalvin Cook. And the Cowboys are going to have to, you're going to have to load up in the box. And I go back to what I mentioned yesterday here on the Players Lounge. If you are trying to stop the run as you should, now you're leaving a guy like Justin Jefferson out there with some one-on-one coverage, baby. That could get scary. And then you got Thielen out there too, who knows how to operate. So, man, this is going to be a very hard matchup. And we know exactly what they're going to do, Barry. They're coming at you. They're running. They are running. You're going to have to stop this run, man.
And you're exactly right. But you gave the answer to what we're going to have to do in your whole soliloquy right there. We're going to have to stop the run, and we're going to have to pack the box and force Kirk Cousins to beat us with his arm. And I don't think he can do that. I don't think Kirk Cousins can beat us with his arm. I understand they got Jordan Jefferson out there, and who the other guy, Thielen on the other side. And those are great receivers, but I don't think their quarterback can get them the ball. If we get a good rush on them, we're going to have to force Kirk Cousins to throw the ball at least 30 sometimes to have a win here. And I think we can do that.
Hold on, wait, hold on. You don't think that Kirk Cousins can get Justin Jefferson the ball? Have you seen him lately? Did you remember when you just picked the Chicago Bears to beat the Minnesota Vikings? Do you know Adam Thielen had 2 touchdowns and Justin Jefferson went for over 100? Kirk Cousins Cousins can get them the ball, and that Bears defense to me is much better than what we've been putting out there, with Kyle Fuller and those guys and Khalil Mack. They're much better, and they went up there and put some points and some yards up there on those guys, running back and receivers. So we got a full day ahead of us. Kirk Cousins can get it done. He's iffy every once in a while, but this is one of those games where they're on the roll, and he's going to try to continue that when they play against us this week.
Look, I know we got a full plate on us. I mean, I know we got Dalvin Cook coming in here. Kirk, he's been playing a little bit better, and those receivers out there, they're a lot to handle. But I believe we got Awuzie coming back off of injuries, missed the past, I believe, 6 games with a hamstring. He's coming back healthy. We off of a bye week. I mean, we got some momentum rolling. I wouldn't be surprised if we pull this one off, and that's why I'm picking the Cowboys, man.
That's a hell of a matchup to come back to.
With or without Double G at the quarterback helm.
McCray, I love how my man Church just forgets history. You say Kirk Cousins can't do it. He threw 2 touchdown passes and beat the Cowboys November 10th last year on Sunday Night Football 28-24.
We all know we should have won that game.
We can't say he can't, but you can't say he can't because he has.
I don't believe he can do it again. I don't believe he can do it.
To a worse team?
I don't believe it.
We're a worse team than last year. He just did it.
I don't believe he can do it. I think we can pull this one off. Now it's gonna take a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's gonna take a lot, but I think we could pull this one off.
Church, we played a perfect game. Almost a perfect game against Pittsburgh and lost. So it's gonna have to be two times perfect to go on the road.
And we dropped 2 interceptions that game. Like, we can't do things like that. Like, if we want to pull stuff off like this, we can't go out there and drop 2 interceptions, penalties at the end of the game. We gave that game away against Pittsburgh, and I think we could beat Minnesota if we don't give things away.
We gave it away. Okay.
We definitely gave that game away. We definitely did.
Nostradamus, I got you. I can't wait to hear your picks. You're going to pick them today. You picking them today, right? You may hear your picks today, I hope.
I'll pick them. I think we got it. I think we do.
All right, let's take a break here. We still have a Thursday night prediction we need to get to. A NFL quarterback's wife decides to really go after her state over COVID-19. Let's dive into that. And I want to dive into something we've already talked about this week in terms of the NBA and how it relates to the NFL. NBA guaranteed contracts versus the NFL and the pay cuts that we talked a little bit about yesterday. That's still to come right here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Hey there, Cowboys fans. With Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery, cleaning your clothes has never been more convenient. Simply sign up at your local store, set out your dirty clothes, and one of our Tide Cleaners professionals will come directly to your home for a totally contactless experience. Your clean garments will be returned promptly the next scheduled delivery day, so skip the errand and enjoy life, not laundry. Visit TideCleaners.com or your local store to sign up for Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery today.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
We're back with a tasty treat that's sweeping airwaves and taste buds. It's new Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda. Let's take a listen.
Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream Soda and Dr. Pepper time. Pour it in a glass of ice.
Ah, music to my ears and mouth. New Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda.
A delicious duet.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Hey, find out why this year's Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders making the team is the most competitive yet when season 15 kicks off November 24th at 9 p.m. Central on CMT. Barry, do you know what CMT stands for?
What's it stand for?
Country Music Television.
It's country music television. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Learn something new every day. Learn something
That's
new
what I'm here
every
for. That's why I'm
day.
here for you, man. I'm here for you here on the Players
I
Lounge.
appreciate it, Newy. I appreciate it.
Barry Church and Danny McCray are former Dallas Cowboys players. I'm Newy Scruggs, who I've just covered the team since these guys were like in grade school. So, McCray, you spoke yesterday about having to go take that pay cut. And yesterday, it hit me once again as I'm watching the news reports that Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors, who's coming back from knee surgery, got injured. And it was just confirmed later this afternoon that Klay Thompson has an Achilles, a ruptured Achilles. So he's going to miss the entire season. And the NFL, those contracts are not guaranteed. The only thing that's guaranteed is your signing bonus. In the NBA, it's fully guaranteed. So Klay Thompson played all of last season. I should say he missed all of last season, didn't play at all. He was injured. And he's going to play another year. Or I should say he's going to get paid this year and not play. So last year he got paid $32.7 million. Didn't play because he was hurt. This year he will get paid $35.6 million. And he's not going to play a lick. And the beauty of it, and it makes me go back to think about Dak Prescott. You know, Dak Prescott ends up getting hurt, carted off the field. This is the final year of his contract. You know, he's guaranteed $31 million. But after this year, we don't know exactly what will happen with that. But here's Klay Thompson, man. Guaranteed the next 3 years. This is what he's going to get the next 3 years, gentlemen. $121.1 million after this season. This is why the NFL Players Association should somehow, some way, get together for the next CBA and say, guys, you have got to be willing to miss some games so you can get some guaranteed contracts. Because you look at the way Klay Thompson can sleep tonight. You know, he'll be mad about not being able to play, but doggone it, $35.6 million will be coming to him this year. Wow. Wow.
like, I don't even know if he's mad about not playing. I mean, you getting $121 million over the next 3 years, and man, I mean that's remarkable, and that just goes to show you, the association, like basketball associations, their union is just so much better than ours. I mean, as a football player, we go out there and we're in one of the most violent sports there is. And we're the only sports organization out there, I think, that doesn't have guaranteed contracts, and it's ridiculous. And that's what you got to go through each and every year. I mean, I know when I was coming up as a free agent, my first go around, I had tore my Achilles that year, so I had basically that whole season. I'm sitting there thinking like, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this might be my last go around, because this was before Achilles were just like curable now, but back then it was kind of like iffy, like I don't know if you're going to come back. And thankfully the Cowboys, they got me on a lower contract, but I had to take that contract because I didn't know what future held for me. I didn't know if I was going to be able to recover from this, and where was I going to go next. It was only my second year in the league, so for me, I had to take that contract. But for the NBA, I mean, they got it set up right, man. And that's why their organizations are much better than ours when it comes to player associations.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in just a little bit more on the difference between us and the other two, the MLB and the NBA, right? So they get the guaranteed dollars. You got guys who not even playing no more in the MLB, and they still cashing checks. And then for us in the NFL, they find every type of way not to guarantee your money, man. Cut you right before the first regular season game and put you back on just so your whole season's salary isn't guaranteed. You get for us to have the most violent sport and put our body on the line the most, you get 5 years after your last game and your insurance is up. Newy brought up the point of your pension. Once you play for 10 years in the MLB, you get $300,000 a year. For us, that is based on your accrued seasons, and it's much lower than that. so I mean, listen. So it's not just the contracts and the guaranteed money that's better. It's all around for those associations and those leagues taking care of their players financially and setting up their lives for after they're done playing whatever sport they are. It's a big difference, and hopefully in the future, our players can get together and maybe like Newy said, hold out. Get everybody together and say, hey, man, don't cross that line, and just wait till we get what we want. And then hopefully the players get the power.
And look, and I think if we had those fully guaranteed contracts in the NFL, I think you would see a lot lower numbers. Like you wouldn't see guys signing for 4 years and, $120 million. I think you would see a lot lower number. But I also think the NFL players would respond well to that, just knowing that they got that security there with fully guaranteed contracts. So, I think they should definitely get it done with the CBA, but we won't see that for another, 10 years?
Listen. If you're gonna guarantee, at least guarantee the bottom half of your roster. I mean, because you got, like you said,
really,
the most of the salary cap is going to the top 3-4 players on the team, and then the rest of the players are interchangeable. They getting released, every week. They switching teams. They going from city to city, and no guaranteed contracts. And then you start wondering why they say NFL players are going broke after 3 years. Half of the dudes ain't really making that much money. You looking at Peyton Manning, those dudes making $120, $130 million at quarterback, but you forget about the guys at the bottom of the roster who may be making $350 for a full season and then get cut after 3 games. Yeah, so you forget about that, but then you start saying, the average NFL player, goes broke after so many years. Some of them dudes ain't make $50,000, $60,000 and don't have no plan for their future after that because it was all football.
So, fellas, big decision here, and a little bit, about over an hour away from Gordon Hayward still deciding whether or not he's going to take the $34.2 million to play for the Celtics this year. So he's still up in the air. There could be a sign and trade worked out with the Atlanta Hawks, but Gordon has got to make this really tough decision right now, whether or not he wants the $34 million. Now, earlier today, this affected the Dallas Mavericks. Tim Hardaway Jr. had an opt-in for $19.9 million. And one of my friends who covers the team for the Dallas Morning News, Brad Townsend, said, hey, Tim Hardaway's got a decision. The Mavericks just brought in 3 players at his spot. What would you do? And I said, and I it was on Twitter, I'm like, you take that bird in the hand during this pandemic, you take $19.9 million, and you worry about the rest later on. And about, 75 minutes later, Tim Hardaway went ahead, took that $19.9 million. I mean, to me, what was the decision? I mean, as soon as I got to make it, I'd have made it. And I don't know. And you guys have spouses here, so I don't know if the wives are involved at all. But man, if I was married to somebody and they had a choice of, my wife had a deal and it was, hey, baby, it's $19.9 million. I'm like, what you waiting on? If you don't sign it, I'm going to take this paper and put your name on it, and I'm going to send it in. I mean, these are not decisions to make. It's a pandemic. It's $20 million. How do you talk about, no, I don't know. I do. I know you want this $20 million, man. These NBA players, baby, this is a pretty good life. This is a good setup these dudes have here, man.
I wish. I'm still going to get my lottery tickets on Wednesday and Saturday for Powerball. These dudes out here making these type of decisions. Let me wait another day, see if I want that $30 million. Man, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if I really want it.
Man, I'll tell you what, they could bring in 100 dudes at my position. I'm still getting 19 mil. I mean, I'd be the water boy, the towel guy, whatever y'all need. Y'all need me to go get your coffee in the morning. Whatever you need, I'm there. These decisions, man. Whew.
It reminds me of that line in Jerry Maguire when they had the linebacker sitting up there with Roy Firestone, and he starts tearing up and he says, y'all don't understand all the pressures and problems 54 million come with. So
I'll take all those problems.
We don't understand all the pressures and problems that Gordon Hayward has to deal with on $34 million, because if he comes back to Boston, he's not going to be the starter. He was brought in to be a cornerstone with Kyrie, so it's really weighing on Gordon Hayward's mind about $34 million and playing with the Celtics again. So, these are first world problems, man. And I know NFL guys are like, huh? What? But it's a different league, bro. It is a different league.
Boys, rock stars compared to we over here, nowhere near that type of luxury that those NBA players have, man. Rock stars right now.
I mean, poor McCray got the Cowboys sneaking you in the side. Hey, man, we need to talk to you real quick here. You take this pay cut. Meanwhile, you got Russell Westbrook and James Harden like, we don't want to be here no more. Well, we committed $121 million each to you. Yeah, I know you committed to me, but I don't want to be here anymore. Fix this. Send me to New Jersey.
Look at man. It's gonna be a lot of guys getting that experience that I had. All right, so coming up next year, it's gonna be a lot of guys getting called in that room. And some of them won't even have the option to take a pay cut. It'll just be, hey man, we letting you go. We're gonna let you go ahead and
bring
man.
That playbook. Go ahead, bring that iPad. Go ahead and bring it.
Yeah. We call you in early, so you can have a chance to hit free agency early. So a team could really do their work on you, see if you want to make the squad, man. But we figure we doing you a favor. Get out of here.
And also today, Kelly Stafford, who is the wife of Matthew Stafford, quarterback of the Detroit Lions, who is from Highland Park, Texas, she decided to make a social media video, and in it, she goes on a rant. And she says she's over living in a dictatorship called Michigan. And she's upset at Governor Whitmer and just things that are going on. And she says small businesses aren't going to make it. So she's tired. She's fed up, tired of it. And I found it interesting when your husband's made well over $200 million and you're mad, you're tired, but I found it very interesting. I ain't
gonna tell you what that sounds like to me. That's let me tell you something. I'm not even gonna say it, but
say it. Hey, that's why we do the show. I want to hear what you have to say.
I still let me tell you, and it's just my opinion. I still don't understand how you can watch TV, look at numbers, and see all this stuff, and then be whining about people, having to wear masks and COVID being out there, and you having to take all these precautions. To me, it don't make no sense at all. If that's the way you feel, if you catch COVID, do not take your butt to the hospital. Just sit at home. Just sit at home and wait it out, because you the person who said you don't care and you want to put everybody at risk. So don't go in there and take up no hospital bed, that somebody else need, that you went out there and gave COVID. Just sit on at home and wait it out if that's the way you want to live.
If you haven't seen it, I retweeted it. So go to Newy Scruggs, NEWY SCRUGGS. That's my handle on Twitter. It's Newy Scruggs, NEWY SCRUGGS. Now, within this video, now she goes, she makes her impassioned plea about, she's worried about small businesses and she doesn't like to shut down. And she says, "This is my opinion." And for me, the one thing I think about is, okay, yes, it's Kelly's opinion, but how do we know Kelly? We know Kelly as Matthew Stafford's wife. So this is ultimately going to come back on him, and he's going to be asked about it. When you're just trying to win some games on a bad team where the coach is about to get fired, and now your wife and her thoughts on COVID come into the room. How does that play in a locker room, guys? When people's, because we saw Cole Beasley's wife a couple times out there. She went after a couple trolls on Twitter. I mean, how does that play in a locker room when spouses and moms and dads and brothers get out here on Twitter? We saw Dak Prescott's brother get mad at the Cowboys when they didn't sign him to a franchise quarterback. So how does that go?
Church?
You can handle this one. I thought about disconnecting.
I don't know. I think that it just depends on the topic. It depends on what it is. For a situation like this, you might get talked about a little bit. When you look over in the corner, you see some guys whispering and laughing. They might be talking about you. When it comes to Dak and his brother, I think people probably felt the same. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Because everybody was kind of on the same accord. Dak should have got paid. But to me, it like I said, it depends on the subject and what's going on and what they got on there and they talked about. For me, this one, you might get laughed at. Your wife might get talked about. Don't take it personal. She went out there the same way. If you remember, Steph Curry's wife went out there talking about she was upset because dudes wasn't getting in her DMs and social media ate her up. They ate her up. So. You gotta be careful. So it just depends on the topic. She shouldn't have said it, and Steph Curry had to come to her defense and still coming to her defense, every day, every time she posts something. So wives, you gotta be careful, man, because it look bad on your husband. You put him under a little pressure.
Hey, you said it all right there, man. You hit the nail right there, man. You might get laughed at, you might not, but slippery slope, my friend.
All right, let's take another break. When we return, Nostradamus makes his Thursday night pick as the Seattle Seahawks and Arizona Cardinals get busy right here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys and your favorite football team.
Get yours today at shop.dallascowboys.com or at stetson.com.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey there, Cowboys fans. With Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery, cleaning your clothes has never been more convenient. Simply sign up at your local store, set out your dirty clothes, and one of our Tide Cleaners professionals will come directly to your home for a totally contactless experience. Your clean garments will be returned promptly the next scheduled delivery day, so skip the errand and enjoy life, not laundry. Visit TideCleaners.com or your local store to sign up for Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery today.
Back to the Players Lounge.
All righty here, craving AT&T Stadium's famous Cowboys cheesesteak, nachos, or Cowboy Rita when you're watching the Cowboys at home. Bring your favorite stadium fare to you. Place your order online for pickup at AT&T Stadium every week this season. Check out the menu at attstadium.com/at-home. All right, my dog is on me, so I'm going to have to go ahead and take her out as soon as this show ends. You know how these things go when you do shows at home. Nobody cares about you. Everybody's doing their own thing.
How many dogs you got?
Go ahead.
Newy, where are you at on the totem pole in your house? You know, as far as who's running things around there? Where are you at? You 1, 2, 3, 4? Where you at?
Bro, I just write checks. This morning, some dude rings the doorbell, and I'm just looking at him like, yeah? He's like, yeah, you know, your wife sent me over here. I'm the fireplace guy. Okay. What you gonna do? Oh, she already told me. So I'm like, oh, go. You know where it is? Like, yeah, okay. And then so I call her. I text her, hey, dude's here for the fireplace. She's like, oh yeah. So then she calls me. I'm like, hold on, here she is. Yesterday, the dog's nose was bleeding, and so my wife ended up taking her down to the vet in Arlington, and I knew the kids. I was sleeping. The kids. So yeah, mom took the dog down to the vet. And I know she loves that dog more than me and the kids, and so I went on down there just to check her because they wouldn't let her in because of COVID. They don't let you in with the dog, so they come out to the car, they take the dog in. So I drove on down there, just brought a little support, to make sure that everything was all good. But yeah, she loves that dog more than all of us, man. So that's what the dog is here barking. So before she left today, she said, "Take care of the baby. That's the dog." And brother, I just write checks. I just write checks, got a good life insurance policy, so when I die, they can go ahead and move and try to live the best life they can. Yeah, I know my role, bro.
No.
Hey, man.
Man, he's accepted it.
It is, man.
He's accepted it. Okay,
at least he's honest.
I feel you.
What accepted? What am I do? What am I do?
You can be like, hey.
I got three kids, bro. I can't. What?
Put up a fight, bro, like Columbo, man. Man, go ahead. Defend yourself, Newy. Defend yourself.
I had that workout for Columbo.
Hey, you gonna have Newy getting fired out here. Y'all better be.
Man. No, man. Yeah, I always, the thing I joke about with my wife all the time is like, your next husband ain't doing all this, right? Just let you know. Your next husband not gonna wash these dishes and do all these clothes. Ain't gonna do that. Ain't gonna be out here ironing clothes and washing dishes like your next husband not doing all that. And I'll joke with it. I was like, put that in your profile, your match profile. I was like, put all that you want in there, your match profile. When I'm gone, dead and gone, and you see how that all work out for you. Like, y'all gonna miss me. Y'all gonna miss me.
Oh no.
She gonna have a maid when you go and do it. Don't worry. They're gonna use their 401k. They're gonna have a cleaning service out there all the time. They're not gonna be washing no dishes, ironing no clothes, none of that.
You know what? When I met her, I had a housekeeper. And
absolutely. Okay, there it is.
Yeah. And when she did some interior designs on Andre Gerard's house, and she had hired her to go over to Dre's house too, and take care of some things and help his little living situation out. So yeah, man. But yeah, bro, it is what it is, man. I'm good. I'm good, man. My daughters like me most of the time.
Oh man.
I like you most of the time. Oh man. See, you guys got little kids. You just wait till they really start having their own minds about things. And one line I consistently say, I'm not as dumb as you guys think I am. Just saying. And so consistently, I you tell people things and people do what they want to do, and you just let them do it. And then they just realized, man, he's not as dumb as we thought. We had our last child. I told my wife, I said, look, I need to get the tubes tied. This needs to be it. Because my wife was 43 when we had our last child. She was 43. I'm like, we don't need to do this anymore. We're good. Because obviously, you guys know, as you get older, the chances of having some issues with birth, with the birth it's tough. So it's December, and she says, hey, I went and got it scheduled. And then she looks at me and she says, what if I'm not done having babies?
Yeah.
The baby's due in July. I'm not going to argue with her because I know summer's coming. So I'm just going to just act like you don't hear it, just go on. And sure enough, summer comes around. She's got 2 kids under 5 and, it's tough. And she's like, yeah, I ain't going to I'm done. Mama's done. This is it. I'm like, so, and then every now and then when, the 3 kids kind of get a little too much and she gets frazzled, I was like, wait a minute. What if you're not done having babies yet? I'll just take all these lines that I used to hear and I just regurgitate them back, Wait, I thought, she was mad at one of them the other day. I said, but remember when she was perfect? Remember that? I remember you said that she was perfect. Is she still not perfect? so just remember all these things that your wife tells you. And just take these words and just, didn't you say this? And it's fun. It's fun. I'll be married 18 years next month, man. I'll be married 18 years next month. And I tell people all the time, that's probably 2-3 times longer than most people are married. So, but no, I wouldn't trade my wife for the world, man. It is, it's been 18 years having 3 kids, watching 3 kids, become their own little people. It's crazy. It's not the same. I tell people all the time, it's just not the same as when you walk down that aisle and it was just you two. Little people change things, change you, change everything. But it's been a good ride, man, and it's been longer than most of my friends, I can say that. And I've seen some friends of mine go through some stuff. So to be 18 years with one person and still love that person through all the things you go through in life, through deaths, through ups and downs, man, it's a challenge. And I feel for you guys as athletes, because I've seen a lot of you guys retire and then marriages break up. It was a buddy of mine who played for the Cowboys. His wife, and I don't want to give his name away, but his wife, when he retired, his wife said she felt like she died and told him it was worse than when she found out that she had got sick with a disease. That she loved being an NFL wife. And I see a lot of guys, coaches' wives as well, man. When it ends, man, you got someone who head for the hills. So that's what I say, man. 18 years to be with somebody, man, for a long time like I have, man. That's a blessing, because you guys have a tough life, because when you depending on when you meet your wife and where your lives go, and then of course, man, I'm sure you guys, like every other NFL player I know, something on you hurts from playing football. Nobody leaves 100% good. Everybody leaves with something that's hurting, man. And it's a challenge, man. It is a challenge to be married to a professional athlete.
This is true.
I don't know.
This is true. Newy, I'm going to start calling you Newy Walls, man. Because I'm telling you, bro. You went for about 13 minutes, my boy. Like,
Hey, that's about that dog.
About Nostradamus going long. Boy, what time is it? It's 3:15.
So it was 3:13. We got 2 minutes. So Nostradamus, make your pick. It is Arizona is at Seattle. Arizona's at Seattle. Seattle's a 3-point favorite. So Barry, what you got, Barry? What you got? I'm writing it down.
We got 15 seconds left, man. All right, look, I'm gonna go ahead and break it like this. I'm all over the place now. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Arizona wins this, man. 27-21.
Wow.
Hey, I'm going with Seattle, man. I'm going with Seattle. Seattle's gonna pull this off in a high-scoring game, 35 to 31. Man, I'm going Russell Wilson. He gonna shake back this week. Goodness, y'all funny, bro. Y'all funny.
Oh man, I tell you what, man.
Well, hey, Barry, you know where I'm going, right? Barry, you know where I'm going, right?
Where you going, man? Where you going with this?
I'm going with D-Mac. So we're going with Seattle, 28-25.
Man, see, y'all just, all right. It's all right, though. It's all right, because as long as I'm right about one thing, that's all that matters, man. As long as I'm right about that one thing, it'll erase all.
Oh, no. Hold on, wait. Church, hold on. Church not going to be here tomorrow, so, Church, you got to give your pick for the Vikings versus the Cowboys this week.
Oh, I told y'all, I'm going with the Cowboys this week. You know, either Andy Dalton or young Gilbert. I mean, they're going to pull this thing out. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a close game, but I got the Cowboys winning this one 17-13.
Okay, all right. I'll listen. I'm going to let you know now.
You're going to start busting out laughing at me, huh?
I'm going the opposite. I'm going 31-17, man, Minnesota.
Man,
just so you know. Just so you know.
Hey, you just going to blow. All right. I'm going to be the only one right this week, I guess. I'm going to be the only one right.
Well, you've been the only one wrong a couple weeks, so
I'll give my score tomorrow, but the Vikings are favored by 7.5 points. But I am taking Minnesota to win and to cover. Minnesota does what Dallas does not do well, which is, stop the run. Dallas doesn't stop the run, and Minnesota runs the ball. And if Nick Chubb, who ended up getting hurt, then it was Kareem Hunt and a dude I'd never heard of, all rushed for 307 yards. And even though the Cowboys improved a little bit, I just think that it's going to be too much to go up to Minnesota for the Cowboys, even off a bye week. So yeah, you about to go 0 for 2 this week, Church.
Neville Gallimore.
What's new?
Neville Gallimore. He's gonna be the difference. He's gonna be the difference. I'm telling you, he's gonna be the difference in there.
I don't know.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Poor Church. I tell you what, this has been fun. This has been fun. I tell you, Barry, you're entertaining, man. I'm glad I do this show with you. You are entertaining.
What is y'all, man? Y'all something else, but it's all good because I'm gonna be right. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be right.
Call that man Newy Walls.
Barry Spagnola, Newy Walls,
Newy Walls.
Hey, Newy, you did start to get a little mushy on there. I like your wife was listening to this, so you was, hey, man, I love my wife, man. I wouldn't do nothing without her. I was like, Newy get his anniversary out there today. It's true. I know. Listen, I feel you. I believe that. That's a long time. We in the rookie stages. But you was getting a little mushy on here though, man. I thought a little tear was gonna come out your eye for a second.
Just for a quick second. I thought for sure.
Hey,
we gotta let CB go, man.
Danny, since you gave to the show yesterday, I figured I needed to give back too. That's what makes a good podcast. We share with each other on things. So we're still waiting on Church to come around.
So Church next.
I'm sharing with y'all my Nostradamus powers, man. That's what I'm sharing to y'all, man.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna light a story up for Church next week. Don't worry. I'm gonna light one he can't deny. He got to go ahead and explain it once I bring it up. Just let me think on it a little bit.
Man.
Producer Chris Beam has to go. He's got another show to get to. So that has been the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. Once again, it's a 4-day work week for Barry Church. He's not going to be with us tomorrow. So Danny McCray and I will go ahead and handle all the duties tomorrow while Church is out doing whatever Church is going to be doing.
I see the shots being done. I see it.
I come for the show every week, baby. I come for the show no days off. You couldn't play for Bill Belichick, Barry, because there's no days off. All right? I'll be here tomorrow. McCray will be here tomorrow.
Look,
goodbye,
me
Church.
And Big Mike we're putting the game plan together. Me and Big Mike putting the game plan together for this week. That's what we got to do on Friday.
You stop capping. That's the show. Goodbye.
We got to end the show on that one. My man said capping.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this?